Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke, and this is the CBC Morning Report for Friday, December 10th. In our top story, the trade links between Barbados and Dubai are being strengthened, and in areas outside of traditional goods and services. Barbados Ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, His Excellency Gabriel Abed, described Barbados as having a story from sugarcane to blockchain, as being communicated through its presence at Expo 2020, Dubai. During an investment awareness webinar hosted by Invest Barbados and Export Dubai to bring awareness to the trade and investment opportunities available in Barbados. He said the government of Barbados is favorable, disposed of foreign direct investment, and is actively seeking to encourage and facilitate investments of substance. And here to tell us about what Barbados has put on show at Expo Dubai 2020 is the Chief Executive Officer of Invest Barbados, Kay Brathwaite. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Wendy, and welcome, and good morning, Barbados.
Yes. Now, in terms of the Expo, we're saying 2020. Was there an issue that we're still having a 2020 Expo as opposed to a 2021?
Yes, Wendy, as you know, the world went through the COVID pandemic, and the Expo was actually supposed to be held from October 1st, 2020 until March 31st, 2021. But because of the advent of COVID, everything was rescheduled, and now it is being held in 2021 from October 2021 to March 2022. But they decided that because everything was branded Expo 2020 Dubai already and everybody knew it by that tagline, to retain the name Expo 2020 Dubai.
Okay, now that's a long period to be having an expo. So I'm wondering how large a contingent Barbados would be taking to that expo, and in what sectors would we be showcasing?
Oh, well, Barbados' pavilion will be up for the entire 6 months of the expo. And we have some main contingent who will be down there for the entire 6 months, about 4 persons. And then we would have had assistance from various stakeholder entities in terms of sending down staff to assist during that period of time in the pavilion. So on any given day on site, in the pavilion working, we can have about maybe 6 to 8 persons. But also during the 6 months period, we're sending down various contingents to showcase various activities and sectors of Barbados. As a matter of fact, just Wednesday, we sent off a team of 8 persons from the Road Tennis Fraternity, a team comprising from the Professional Road Tennis Association of Barbados, as well as the Barbados Road Tennis Association. And this was nicely sponsored by the National Sports Council, so we must thank that stakeholder, and the Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Development and Community Empowerment, sorry. And we sent that team off, and they will be having a coaching clinic, exhibition matches, and a competition during the week of December 11th to 17th. And where the grand prize winner of that competition in Dubai can actually win a round trip to Barbados with free accommodation, etc. So during the period, we are sending out many contingents. In 2022, we will be sending a cultural contingent to showcase our culture and to be there for our National Day, which has been assigned to us by Expo 2020 Dubai.
Okay, now the question is, in terms of the road tennis, what's the rationale? Other than teaching them that we have this indigenous game, what are we looking to gain from it? Are we looking to get major sponsorship for tournaments? Are we looking to market our rackets there? What are we looking to get?
The whole gamut, Wendy. Everything that we can get, we are looking to get. The thing is making sure that we build awareness of Barbados and every aspect of Barbados, and road tennis is but one of them. It is a novel sport to Barbados, and therefore we have branded rackets which we've taken down, which would obviously leave with the participants and the players. We have persons from the National Sports Council down there to have conversations with persons who may want to add this sport to their own pavilions or add this sports to their own sports centers in the UAE. And we're looking with the ultimate goal to make sure to make this sport an actual world-class sport and eventually have it on that Olympic calendar.
Okay, what are some of the other areas that you're looking to make linkages in?
We have areas like obviously fintech, the UAE, especially Dubai is ripe for that kind of area. We were looking at areas such as artificial intelligence, agro-processing, last mile logistics, niche manufacturing, medical tourism. I can't even name all of the areas that we're looking at, and we're going into each of these sectors in Dubai and the UAE. And I keep saying Dubai because the expo is in Dubai, but it's really the United Arab Emirates. The entire Middle East is really for our taking, and we're going into that area with an idea of bringing those investors into Barbados.
Okay, and finally, have we made any serious and significant contacts as yet in terms of getting the mileage and also the money that we're looking to get through investment?
Well, definitely. You mentioned the webinar at the beginning of the present the broadcast, and that webinar was actually teamed with us with Exports Dubai. So that is another is a significant contact, and we will be partnering with the largest economic free zone owner in Dubai to hold our webinar in January and throughout 2022. And of course, we can't name them obviously here right now, but of course, we would have met with several players when we were down there in October, and we are working through some logistics in terms of potential investment into Barbados from actual companies operating out of Dubai.
Well, that's wonderful news, and I want to thank you for joining us here, Ms. Brathwaite. And you and Export Barbados are doing good work, and I'm sure that we will bear fruit from this long sojourn in Dubai. Good luck to you and your team.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you.
Okay. When Morning Report returns, we'll have updates on the COVID-19 pandemic. A little too excited to get to Pearson. Barbados has recorded 2 more COVID-19 related deaths, bringing the total to 246. COVID-19 claimed the lives of an 80-year-old woman and an 85-year-old man on Wednesday. They died at the Blackman and Gollop isolation facility and were both unvaccinated. Meanwhile, there are 132 new COVID-19 positive cases. This is according to the Besto Santos Public Health Laboratory after having identified 54 males and 78 females. There were 1,161 tests conducted on December 8th. Of the positive cases, 18 were under the age of 18. Persons in isolation facilities numbered 295, while 1,960 were in home isolation. Under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19, the total number of people with at least one dose is 154,226. The total number of people who are fully vaccinated is 138,857. And the leadership of the Public Service Union in Belize has announced it will challenge the vaccination mandate coming into effect December 15th. The mandate forces all public officers to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The decision taken by the government has been met with fierce objection because some public officers believe this is a violation of their right to choose. Minister of the Public Service Henry Charles Usher spoke to the media.
They feel that they want to challenge the decision made by Cabinet, then they have the right to do so as well. I think it's important to understand, Daniel, that this was not a decision that came about very easily. We took a long time, and by we I mean Cabinet. We spoke to the medical officers, we spoke to our team, and we looked at what was happening around the world in terms of the decisions and the options taken by different jurisdictions. And certainly, it was felt by Cabinet that we have to improve the number of vaccinations in this country. I understand people are still skeptical about the vaccinations. I encourage them to learn the facts. I encourage them to realize that it may not be a perfect tool, but it is a tool in the fight against COVID. And certainly I want to protect our public officers as best I can. That they are skeptical, that they believe that it's their right to choice that is being taken away. I am sorry to hear that. But certainly it's something that the Cabinet and myself as Minister of Public Service, we felt that this was critical at this time.
Austria's government has announced details of its plan to make coronavirus vaccines compulsory, with people aged 14 and above and holdouts facing fines. About 68% of Austria's population is fully vaccinated against COVID-19, one of the lowest rates in Western Union.
There's no question that the Austrian government felt when it announced some weeks ago that a mandatory vaccine requirement was coming and that a lockdown was necessary. There was no doubt that the wave of COVID that was washing across their country was so bad they felt they had no option. Well, today they have presented their proposals, and it is that everyone over the age of 14 in Austria who has not been vaccinated by a point in February will suddenly find themselves potentially liable for a fine of more than $4,000. Everyone under the age of 14 will not need to suffer that penalty. The point is the numbers here. Something around about 70% of the Austrian population has already been vaccinated, at least has had 2 doses of the vaccines that require 2 doses, or 1 if it's the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, but that still leaves around 30%. Now the 14-year-olds and under make up around 14% of society. To cut to the chase, what it means is around 1.2 million adults have had the opportunity all this year, almost all this year, to have the vaccine and have chosen not to for whatever reason. Well, come February, that 1.2 million people, if they haven't been vaccinated, will start having to pay for it, and it could be up to $4,000.
The World Health Organization has warned that wealthy countries may start hoarding COVID-19 vaccines again, threatening global supplies as they seek to shore up stocks to fight the new Omicron variant of coronavirus. The comment comes as the WHO contends a 3rd dose is indeed for the most vulnerable.
World Health Organization's vaccine advisory panel says that people with underlying health issues or compromised immune systems should be targeted for boosters. Many countries are expanding their rollout of 3rd shots due to concerns over the new Omicron variant. Emerging data has suggested that vaccine efficacy declines after some time, especially among older people.
For the time being, we continue to support, 1, the need for equity in the distribution allocation of vaccines, and 2, the use of 3rd doses only on those that we have previously recommended, those that have received inactivated vaccines and those that are immunocompromised, which are the 2 groups that we feel should be protected further by a 3rd dose of the primary process.
But there's also a warning from the WHO that concern over the Omicron variant could lead to more hoarding of vaccines. More than half of all people in the world have now received at least one dose. That falls to just over 6 in every 100 people in low-income countries. Since February, the Vaccine Sharing Alliance, COVAX, has shipped 610 million doses to 144 nations or territories, but the goal was 2 billion. The programme sped up in the past few months thanks to donations from wealthier countries and an ease on exports from India. But if richer nations prioritise their own third doses, well, there could be fears that the programme would slow down. And there's no supply issue. The WHO is saying that 1.5 billion doses are produced every month. The problem is going to be with the allocation of that supply. The global health chief is saying 6 times as many boosters are given out in rich nations every day than first shots in low-income countries.
As we head into whatever the Omicron situation is going to be, there is risk that the global supply is again going to revert to high-income countries hoarding vaccine to protect, in a sense, in excess, their opportunity for vaccination and a sort of no regrets kind of approach.
And it's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. And for that, I welcome Pearson Voldemort Booing.
Voldemort, you made that up.
No, I didn't.
You did.
Don't you read Harry Potter, Pearson?
I do not read those kinds of things, you know that. Oh. Voldemort, all right. You know, I had the nicest name for you, but I'll change it now. So good morning to Wendy Violet Burke. You know, the pronunciation.
It's a wonderful color.
Really?
Yes, it is.
The name, the pronunciation of that word I like is Violet. And I wanted to call you that this morning, Wendy Violet Burke. Thank you so much. And coming up at 6:30 this morning, folks, it is International Human Rights Day under the theme, All Human, All Equal. And so it also ends this 16 days of activism against gender violence. So joining us this morning will be Ms. Broadberg of the UN Women's Multi-Country Office. We'll talk about that. You'll also meet a woman today who, with a master's degree in human resource management, quit her job. But to do what and why? She'll tell her story. And on Saturday, you would have heard St. Michael was the parish with the designer of the year. And a lot of you wanted to know, who is this designer? That designer will be with us this morning right here on Morning Barbados from 6:30. Back to you, Violette.
Why, thank you, Voldemort, and we'll be seeing you a little later in the hour. We'll now take a break and be back with more news. Looking to the future, Prime Minister Mia Motley wants a comprehensive mental wellness policy for Barbados. She says the nation has not done well in addressing issues of mental health. Ms. Motley was at the time delivering the 16th Patrick A.M. Emmanuel Memorial Lecture, Forging a Nation, Confronting New Realities.
That allows us not only to recover from this COVID-19 pandemic, but to accept that even before the pandemic, issues of mental health literally affected too many of our families in this nation. And because of the stigma associated with it, that regrettably we have not done as much as we could have done in making persons who might otherwise become productive citizens whole again.
Ms. Motley impressed on the need for free speech in Barbados.
People must feel free to be able to speak. And that freedom of speech is something that we have definitely and aggressively protected, even when they fundamentally disagree with what we have to say as individuals or as a government. Ultimately, my friends, citizenship must be about the appreciation and recognition that this country must have the benefit of the collective will of its people to be the best that we can be in all our endeavors.
60 young Barbadians who participated in government's Republic essay competition have been rewarded for their good work. The budding writers between the ages of 7 and 12 have been told to let their voices be heard. More from CBC's Rianne Phillips.
It was back in November when the challenge was issued to young Barbadians between the ages of 7 and 12, encouraging them to submit videos and essays on what Barbados means to them and their vision for the future. And some of them did just that.
Barbados does not have any snow in December, but hopefully later in the future there will be snow. And I hope that in the future everyone will get closer to God. I really want Barbados to have a better and brighter future, with more churches and schools built for children and Christians to learn more about history and God.
For the future, I would like to see a cleaner, greener Barbados, a place with amusement parks and water parks like those we see on TV, where my friends and I can go have fun on the weekend. But most importantly, a COVID-free Barbados so that I can do fun things with my family.
In the future, I just want Barbados to be a safe place, that I do not have to worry about my family and friends. I am a proud Barbadian, and I love my home Barbados.
My vision is of a Barbados that is litter-free, and we are able to reduce, reuse, and recycle for a greener Barbados. I wish for my people to live a healthier lifestyle where we exercise and eat healthier food which we grow locally.
In the future, I'd like to see healthy foods cost less money. I'd rather eat corn on the cob than corn kernels. In the future, I'd also like to see less homeless people. Less trash on the road would also be great.
In the future, I would love to see a Barbados where we are past the COVID-19 pandemic, allowing us to socialize more and be able to spend more time with family and friends. I would like to see a Barbados which resembles that of the one told to me by my great-grandmothers.
Their efforts were commended, and they were also given some advice.
You should be proud of yourselves, each and every one of you. I would have been able to look at these essays, watch these essays, and they were special. I have a few favorites, but I know I'm not able to show some favoritism, but I just want to say you all did an amazing job. I just want to say to embrace the arts, embrace literacy, and enjoy your success, and of course the tablets.
You can use video, you can go online and you can create images, you can use memes, you can use animation, and you can send it all over the world without having to use a postage stamp. That is a wonderful gift, and it also is a great responsibility. So make sure that your words matter. Make sure they're kind. Make sure they're thoughtful. Yes, sometimes make sure they're funny. Make sure they bring comfort to others. Make sure they represent you as the best Barbadian you can be, regardless of what you do.
The essay competition was just one of the activities organized in the lead-up to Barbados' transition to Republican status. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
4 nations in Africa have partnered with a Qatar-based foundation to provide primary education to thousands of the most marginalized children.
Zanzibar's Minister of Education signs a pledge in the Qatari capital Doha that has the potential to change the lives of tens of thousands of vulnerable children by ensuring they're all enrolled in full-time primary education in the semi-autonomous region of Tanzania.
Some of these kids, though they come from poor families, but if they can make a difference to their lives, they might become political leaders, social leaders, or entrepreneurs in the society in the future. And I think that is where we need to understand that for these kids who are being sent back to school, they should not be denied their primary and secondary education.
Rwanda, the Gambia and Djibouti are also partnering with Qatar's Education Above All Foundation to fund and support projects that will focus on the hardest to reach out-of-school children, including those who work in homes, disabled people and refugees.
We have 4 countries committing to go that very last mile to get those last few children back into some kind of quality education. Why is that important? It's important for those children, it's important for those countries, but it's equally as important to have some beacons to say, this can be done.
The UN says school-aged children are supposed to spend 200 days in the classroom every year, but last year 59 million didn't spend a single day at primary school. So how will this initiative help? Well, in the Gambia, 65,000 children will get to go to school. In Rwanda, it will target 67,000 out-of-school kids. That's 3% of its primary age population. In Djibouti, it will help 35,000 children get an education. And officials hope it will do the same in Zanzibar with a $6 million project. The announcements made here in Doha come as Education Above All celebrates reaching its initial goal of getting 10 million of the most marginalized children into school. But it says its focus now is on identifying and enrolling what it calls the invisible children, the ones who have so far proved hard to reach.
In sports, 3 more records fell on day 2 of the Abasa Short Course National Swimming Championships at the Aquatic Center, all coming in the 50-meter butterfly events. CBC's Sean Green reports on some of the events.
We begin with the girls 8 and under 50-meter butterfly. That's 1 lap up and back down. And this is actually the second heat of 2, and it's also where we will see a new record being set. And the 10-year-old mark set by Daniel Titus, that record is about to be broken. Swimming out of lane 4 is young pirate Keja Eastman. She's the one in the purple cap, turning for home all alone. And maybe she doesn't know it yet, but she's actually setting a record pace as she comes home comfortably to take this event in a new time of 35.99 seconds, eclipsing the previous time of 36.29. Let's take in the boys' version over the same distance in the same age group category, the under 8 50-meter butterfly. And it wasn't the fastest of races on the night, but still fairly competitive. That's young Amir Giddens of Alpha taking charge, and he would come to the wall first to touch in a time of 47.07 seconds ahead of Joshua Paris. Now, let's turn our attention to this event, the girls 9 to 10 challenge. The record is 32.32 set by Destiny Harden. Now, this is back in 2012. Now these girls will try and see if they can get close or perhaps erase that mark on a night that is good for swimming. Lane 4, Enya Harrison in the black decided to take up that challenge, and just look at her go, or shall I say look at her come, as she comes home very strongly indeed. Not another girl in sight, just the wall ahead, finishing in a new time of 31.92 seconds. Excellent work indeed by Harrison. Now, feast your eyes on this event. It's the boys 9 to 10 sprint. And check out the hot pace being set by the boys in this one. The record set by Jaden Levine just 3 years ago. Could it be under threat if this pace continues? Zachary Burke took up the challenge. Just look at that form as he pulls and barrels for home. No one else even close. And Burke will do it, touching the wall in record time, beating the old mark of a 31.75 to set a new standard of 30.53 seconds. Well done, young man. Sean Green, CBC Sports.
And it's time now to take a look at the weather picture. In Barbados, it is fair, 26.2 degrees Celsius, but it feels like 28. The humidity stands at 89% and the barometric pressure 1012.4 millibars. The winds are from the east at 26 kilometers per hour. Low tide will be at 9 minutes past 3 this evening and high tide at 17 past 9 this morning. Another high tide will be at 8:59 p.m. The seas are moderate in open water with swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and increasing. Today it should be partly sunny with a few brief isolated light showers. And tonight is expected to be the same. Here now is a look at our international cities. I now turn you over to Baltimore, who will be giving you Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning.
Fantastic Friday to you. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, December the 10th, 2021. I am Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you here in Barbados, watching us on your TV screens, or for those of you around the world who are watching us on our social media platforms of YouTube and our Facebook page, Morning Barbados. Thank you for joining us this Friday morning. Now, today we'll also be introducing you, amongst everything else, to the people behind Ben Up. They would have released the Ben Up Rum Punch. Now they have something that's a seasonal favorite, and we can't wait to share that with you as well. So look out for that opportunity to know more about them. Two of you will be calling today, so please stand by your phone. Make sure they're charged, make sure they have credit, because we will be calling you today for you to win in our Christmas competition. So look out for that as well. So lots to look forward to today. But let's get started this morning by turning our attention to young people having a chance to share their points of view in a forum, and it's on TV. And so the members of a Listen Up Accord Committee in Naeem Johnson and the outstanding Hewley Watson join us now. Good morning, both of you.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados.
Good to see you, gentlemen. Hewley is still smiling. That's very good. Saturday is not yet over, right?
No, it's not. Still in celebrating mode.
How was it for you, though, when you heard that your parish was identified as one of those? You came. It was second you came?
Yeah, second we came.
Right. So how was that for you?
That was an exciting moment. It's really been, all the well wishes, all the congratulations. It was been an awesome night into morning, and like I said before, I'm still in celebratory mood. Really reminiscing on the journey, but my responsibility here is not that. It's really tell Barbados.
I know, but I could sit across the table from you and not give you a chance to bask in all that. All right. So Naeem, you two are with the Listen Up Accord Committee. Tell us a little bit about what that is and what it represents and what it affords young people.
Right. So the Listen Up Accord is in essence is something that where a group of young people come onto the television or even via the social media stream and have real talk conversations about issues that are going on in Barbados, right? So you could tune into these at Saturday at 5 p.m.
Saturdays at 5, young people talking about what?
Right, so issues going on into Barbados. So our first episode we had was life after incarceration. So we had an excellent panelists, which we just discussed like how life after incarceration in fact affected the young people and older people and how society embraces them. On Saturday upcoming we have the topic from Republic into Independence, right? So you're going to get a take on how young people feel about this.
Republic into independence, or is that reversed? I'm not so sure.
From
But you're going to have
into republic.
Thank you. Well, but they'll have an opportunity, young people. And Hewley, this is so important because oftentimes young people are somewhat overlooked in society and in community. They're not given the chance to give their points of view. So talk to me a little bit about how important this is, you think, for young people to engage in this way.
Well, I do believe it is important for us as young people to engage on such a topic of national importance because, as you know, Pearson, we are citizens of this dear island of ours, whether looking at from a small significant point of view, but we are important and our contribution is just as important as the adults. And I do believe that having a really and truly an input in terms of this conversation about how being a republic will affect us and what is the hope attached to this republic status that we have as a country, and how will that in turn relate to youth development, youth security, youth everything. Because at the end of the day, we the youth really want to know what is in this republic set up for us as a people, as a community, as a group. Because you know people will talk about us turning as a republic, as a nation, is going to benefit us in all different manners. But really and truly, as young people, what does it mean? What does it mean to us for Barbados to be a republic? And really and truly, on Saturday, we're going to hear some excellent young people really discussing from all aspects, whether that the legal aspect, whether that is from an influential point of view, and really to have that conversation among us to really let the country know that we also have that important tools, the important information, the important those things that will help the nation develop as a whole.
Young people have a contribution to make, and certainly the environment is one rich now for that contribution to be made. But Naeem, sometimes people think that, when you intellectual young men get together, you talk to your choir, you don't talk to everybody. So how do you respond to that in terms of providing an opportunity for every young person to feel that they have a voice that is to be heard?
It's just to let young people know that every voice and opinion matters. Whether it's we go into the communities, because our jobs entitles us to go into the communities to talk to young people, to embrace young people, to give them an opportunity and to let them know that their voice are being heard. Whether it is big decisions, small decisions, every voice matters.
How do we get past this cynicism that says, all right, we spoke, now what? How do we get past that, Hewley? How do we get them assured that they've opened their mouths, they've shared from their minds, but something will be done?
Okay, well, first of all, Pearson, the ability to speak is the first step. Because we know at times in other nations and stuff like that, the ability, the freedom of speech, as we always try the conversation, the expression of freedom of speech, but we all know in reality that is far from the truth. That is one. And then the second thing is actually taking what is being told and the execution of programs, of strategic ideas, so that persons will know that conversation turns into reality. Because oftentimes we have a lot of conversations, big or small, but then there's no action to it. So at the end of the day, we are looking at, in terms of the Division of Youth, to really action some of the suggestions and ideas that were put forward, even in terms of this program and project.
Great. So it happens this Saturday at 5 o'clock, where you're looking from independence to republic. And we want to encourage every young person to tune in to be a part of it. How can they contribute? Because it's all well and good to be in the studio and amongst yourself you're speaking. How else do you garner contributions from other people elsewhere?
Okay, well, in terms of contribution, there are several numbers of ways. We are in an online environment, so the first thing first is that persons will tune on to CBC Facebook page, and you can like and comment. You can comment you can leave your questions on the comment stream, and that will obviously be extended to the persons in the studio, so we can see that you're commenting. Also, the Division of Youth Affairs Facebook page, that will be linked, so that as long as you comment on these pages, that your questions or comments or even suggestions will come up, as well as to log on to the V246, the Division of Youth Affairs Instagram page as well. so you can also be a part of this program. So there are a number of ways that you can take part. And also, I'm also forgetting that the fact that you can also call in on Saturday
Yeah.
as well to be a part of the whole discussion as well.
And that's important. I'm glad you mentioned, because I think young people need the opportunity not just to sit and ape at the TV, but that they can actually feel compelled to do something about it by writing or calling. So on Saturday, in the program on Saturday, from Independence to Republic, the phone lines will be open for you to call in young people to come into the whole experience of discussion on this big subject. So can you, Huey, tell me who are the panelists who will be a part of that discussion on Saturday?
Okay, well, I will give Barbados a sneak peek on who the panelists will be for Saturday. I will not give you everybody, but I will say sufficiently that we will have a young lady who has now been accepted to the bar. Her name is Okira Hill. She will be one of our panelists for the show. From having discussions with all the the majority of the panelists last night, we are excited. I'm excited to have to see that whole discussion with them. So she's one. We also have um, Tariq Wilson, who is a law student at University of West Indies. That's to name a few of the young people that will be on the panelists on Saturday. And I want to stress this, Barbados. The panelist is going to be extremely young. And when I talk about young, they're going to be young people discussing this topic. And they're coming with from a level of expertise on one aspect, and they're also coming with passion, really and truly, to help interject some life and some good suggestions for this island.
And you know, the critical thing, Naeem, is that when we watch on Saturday, we don't look at our young people and think, oh, you're too young, we don't want to hear you. But to listen, I mean, that's the whole name of the program, listen up, and to hear from the young people as well. So what encouragement, Naeem, would you give to older people why they should also sit before the television screens to watch and listen?
Yes, it is. We work mainly on young people, but this information is for everyone. It's for the public's ear, and it's very good for older folks to hear the opinions of young people, because we are the next generation going forward. Yeah, so we are the next leaders of tomorrow. So it's very good to be engaged, to embrace youth, and to accept them, lift them up. Yes, we may fall down at times, but encourage them, because, as I say, we are tomorrow's people. So yeah, as I say, it's information for everyone.
The society gets stronger when each of us is strong. And so we're looking forward to it tomorrow from 5 in the afternoon, folks. It's right here on TV, it's Beijing TV. It's also on our social media platforms. On the social media platforms, there's a division of youth. And you can contribute by calling. You can contribute by commenting on those social media pages. All of that will be embraced. No comment is too little. Every comment is important. And so we want to encourage young, old, everybody, but particularly the young people, your chance to have your voice. So older folks like us, me, sorry, not you, we will sit aside, we will sit back and give you the chance to flow through. So we're not going to clog up the phone lines, we're not going to clog up the social media space. Let the young people's information flow through. And so we want to encourage all young people tomorrow to join in at 5 and engage. Thank you, gentlemen. As always, great work you're doing, Naeem Johnson and my boy Hewley Watson. All the best indeed with this program.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome indeed. Two very young, very articulate young men, and they want to be a part of the change that we want to see in our society. So tomorrow's topic will be From Independence to Republic, and they want to hear from every young person as we begin to factor out where you see yourself fitting into the new Barbados. We're looking forward to this tomorrow, starting at 5 on TV8. Don't miss it. We're coming right back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So it's 13 and a half minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock as we turn our attention to today being Human Rights Day. Joining us is a representative with UN Women's Multi-Country Office in the Caribbean, Tony Broadberg. Good morning to you, Mrs. Broadberg.
Hi, good morning, Piers, and how are you?
I'm well today. Thank you for asking. How do you do?
I'm doing well. We're at the end of the 16 days of activism and we're celebrating human rights.
And I see you're all oranged up. That was the whole purpose,
I
right?
have to be oranged up for all 16 days.
To recognize the end of the 16 days. Today, Human Rights Day. The theme today for Human Rights Day, the slogan is all human, all equal. That's a very powerful set of words.
Absolutely, and I think, the importance of celebrating Human Rights Day today is the anniversary of the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. And it was one of the first, of course, after ending the war, real successes of the countries that came together to create the United Nations, acknowledging every human being is born free and encompassing these inherent human rights. And so today we're focusing on reducing inequalities and focusing on ensuring that the human rights each person is born with, they're respected within the small spaces and the big spaces.
Seems at times to be rather unequal because oftentimes women are bearing the brunt of the inequality of which we speak. And so that's why the 16 days of activism was so very critical when we oranged up the world to end violence against women.
Absolutely. I mean, if this theme this year as well on reducing inequalities and advancing human rights acknowledges the fact that there are certain core biases that prevent people from being able to fully realize their human rights within the collective rights space, because our individual rights, our human rights are also within a collective space. And so when we look at the orange, when we look at the potential, the vibrancy for each woman, each man to be able to live their lives free from violence, which is a real barrier to someone being able to live a life that acknowledges in full space, in the private sphere and the public sphere, their human rights.
There's so many disparities, as you're right, in so many different areas, whether it be in employment, income generation, a whole host of areas, because oftentimes the burden, and I use the word deliberately, of responsibility for the family rests on the shoulders of the woman. And sometimes she does work, even that, outside of work, she does work. And oftentimes that work is not recognized in quite the same way. And the theme, all human, all equal, I'm sure that also feeds into that.
Absolutely. I think, we call this unpaid care work. The work that is done where women generally are caring for the elderly, caring for children, caring for other persons within their home, but we don't recognize it as work because it's not remunerated. What we recognize through the COVID-19 pandemic is that this burden, as you called it, actually increased 2 times for women more than it did for men. So the helping with the online schooling, the taking care of making sure everyone was well fed, the cleaning of the house, all of that for the most part fell on the shoulders of many women. And when you look at the Caribbean, there's some territories where households are headed by only one person, and 86% of those in at least one territory are women heading these households. So when we have stay-at-home orders, when we have the kinds of shifts that we've had to make as a result of the impact of COVID-19, that responsibility of care becomes a burden because so much of it is only on one person. And that's why we need to work towards economic empowerment. We need to look at time use. What's happening in homes? How much time are women spending on certain things versus men? In some Latin American countries, they recognize that at least 25% of GDP was as a result of this unpaid care work. It equated to 25% of the GDP. That's huge. So we have to acknowledge it, recognize it, and also provide the subsidized child care That's something Barbados already does for the most part, but not many other countries in the Caribbean do this. We need to be able to have that kind of support, economic empowerment measures for women to be able to use their skills not only within the home, but also within the public sphere.
This leads pretty much into what you'll be virtually launching tomorrow when you talk about financing for gender equality. What are you hoping to achieve by this financing for gender equality?
Absolutely. And it's actually being launched today. We used Human Rights Day because we know that we have to reduce inequalities. And one way to do it is through financing. The talk is great. It was wonderful to hear those two young men speaking about what they're doing and the conversations that young people are having. We also need to make sure that after we have the conversation, we have the financing and resources available so we can move on action. Right now, you know, we always speak about how well women are doing in the Caribbean, and women are doing well to a certain extent. But if you look at women's businesses in the Caribbean, only 8% of the businesses in the Caribbean are owned by women. And of that 8%, 90% have no employees. These women are managers of themselves, and they're generally in low growth sectors. If we want to reduce inequalities, one surefire way is through economic empowerment. And in order to have that, you need financing. So having the private sector come on board, and in particular, a private equity firm, really putting their money where their mouths are to say, we believe in reducing inequality, and we are going to do it by collaborating with UN Women and other gender-based and organizations working to promote equality, to create funding and funds for entrepreneurs, micro, small, and it's not only going to be women-owned entrepreneurs or organizations owned by women, it'll also be organizations doing things that create a more equal space. Transportation, you know, reliable transportation is critical in ending violence against women and girls. Really looking at waste management, that's also something that is critical in reducing the burden of responsibility that women have, as well as childcare. If you have well-financed childcare spaces and also governments that are well-financed to be able to provide these kinds of services, you have a lot less women having the burden of having to make the choices whether to go to work or stay home and take care of their children. If you want to stay home and take care of your children, that's one thing. If you feel forced to do so, that's another.
Indeed. So you're launching this financing for gender equality today. And naturally now the next question that follows is, all right, great. How can we access the financing? What's the mechanism to be able to do so?
Well, all of the rest of the information around that is coming. Today we're launching the partnership. We're demonstrating to the world this is what we're going to do. There will be a fund that is coming up, and all small businesses across the Caribbean and the Caribbean basin, because this includes some Latin American countries that touch the Caribbean Sea, like Colombia and Costa Rica and Brazil. They will also be able to get the information needed so that they are well prepared to access financing through the fund.
It reads that the persons with which you're partnering, Portland Private Equity, they are also providing opportunities for gender smart investment in thematic areas. Those thematic areas are the ones of which you spoke earlier, or are there other areas in which, when you talk about gender smart investing, what is that? Break that down for us so we understand.
Sure. So when you're thinking about it's gender smart investing is really gender lens investing. And what that means is that you're considering gender, which means not just women and men, but the way in which power dynamics between women and men may benefit each group differently throughout the entire investment life cycle. So looking at pre-investment activities, where do you source your funds, how do you do your due diligence, as well as post-deal monitoring, so strategic advising and exiting. There are three main pillars to gender lens investing. One, you invest in women-owned businesses. You also invest in women-led enterprises. Two, you invest in enterprises that offer those products and services that substantially improve the lives of women and girls. For example, transportation, waste management, the paid care economy are just a few. And then also investing in enterprises that promote workplace equality. We started this 16 days of activism with the Lime Grove Lifestyle Center, the Ministry of Labor, and in particular Minister Jordan, who has really demonstrated his determination and will behind working to get gender equality. And we have a partnership with that Ministry of Labor in how to support a reduction in gender-based violence in the workplace. And so this is one way in which some businesses can take the toolkit that has been developed, really get that kind of training and policies in place so that they too would be able to access financing like the financing that will be coming through the Caribbean Basin Gender Equality Fund.
Do you get the sense that we are making strides in this effort for gender equality across the Caribbean?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm bullish on gender equality. You know, people are bullish on the stock market, and I think generally we need to teach all of our young people and all of our old people and everyone about the stock market and equity and these kinds of things. But I'm bullish on gender equality and human rights. I think we have made a lot of progress. The fact that we are starting to see articles that are calling out things like sexual harassment on the street. In the past, it would have just been seen as the norm and not something that was even reportable. But we're talking about these issues. It's the same with domestic violence. For a very long time, violence in the home was not seen as newsworthy. It was normal. It was something that was private. And now we recognize that human rights have to be respected within the small spaces, in the home, in our safe spaces, as well as our large spaces. The public spaces also need to be safe spaces as well.
Is there any territory or any area which causes you even greater concern? While we are saying movement, there's still some niggling things that we really need to address, and could that be because of location or any other kinds of domestic societal structures?
I think there are two things. One thing, of course, it's that violence against women and girls. We're not seeing enough of the needle move on that. And I don't think it is gender-based, but I think we're not seeing the needle move where it needs to be on violence more broadly. And if we look at violence against women and girls as a canary in the coal mine that affects violence we see in the communities, violence we see nationally, it's something that we need to address if we want peaceful societies. I think that's grounded in some unhealthy stereotypes that we have about men and women, and the way in which those stereotypes allow us to excuse certain kinds of violent behavior amongst men. Men aren't naturally violent. We allow men to be violent because we believe that it is normal in many cases. And the same for the way in which we look at violence that sometimes women perpetrate against other women. There are many cases that we can see right now in Barbados as news where violence is becoming more of a viable option. And I think if we look at gender-based violence as an entry point for solving this, we will be in good stead moving forward. The other issue is economic empowerment. We need more sharing of care. We need to make sure that women are not the only ones who are responsible for care in their homes and their families. It is a lot of work. It can become a burden. It can be beautiful, but it can become a burden if you do not have the support that you need. And also within that economic empowerment space, we need to do more of pushing young women and men into growth careers. We need to do more about being bullish on the economic power that lies within the people in Barbados and across the Caribbean, so that we're getting them excited about the stock market. Do you know Jamaica has the most active stock market in the world? That small country, compared to the world, has one of the most active stock markets. Why not Barbados as well? Why not every other country in the Caribbean that has a stock market, has people thinking, how can we invest in each other? How can I invest in a fellow Bayesian's business to make sure that it's successful? And giving people the tools so that they can do so in a smart way, I think is going to be a really critical way in which we reduce inequalities.
You know, Mrs. Broadberg, your passion compels us today to do something about this as well. So I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Tony Broadberg, representative with the UN Women's Multi-Country Office Caribbean. Today being Human Rights Day under the slogan, all human, all equal. Keep the passion going and keep lighting it under us so that we can every day make strides towards being better. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And Pearson, you can join online too at 10 o'clock this morning. The link is on our website if you want to know more.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll have the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 2.5 minutes after 7 o'clock. Time for an update on the news. Here is Wendy Violette Burke.
Why, thank you, Voldemort Bowen. Looking to the future, Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Motley wants a comprehensive mental wellness policy for Barbados. She says the nation has not done well in addressing issues of mental health. Ms. Motley was at the time delivering the 16th Patrick A.M. Emanuel Memorial Lecture, Forging a Nation, Confronting New Realities.
That allows us not only to recover from this COVID-19 pandemic, but to accept that even before the pandemic, issues of mental health literally affected too many of our families in this nation. And because of the stigma associated with it, that regrettably we have not done as much as we could have done in making persons who might otherwise become productive citizens whole again.
Ms. Motley impressed on the need for free speech in Barbados.
People must feel free to be able to speak. And that freedom of speech is something that we have definitely and aggressively protected, even when they fundamentally disagree with what we have to say as individuals or as a government. Ultimately, my friends, citizenship must be about the appreciation and recognition that this country must have the benefit of the collective will of its people to be the best that we can be in all our endeavors.
The trade links between Barbados and Dubai are being strengthened, and in areas outside of the traditional goods and services. Barbados' ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, His Excellency Gabriel Abed, described Barbados as having a story from sugarcane to blockchain, as being communicated through its presence at Expo 2020 Dubai. During an investment awareness webinar hosted by Invest Barbados and Export Dubai, Ambassador Abed said the session was designed to bring awareness to the trade and investment opportunities which are available in Barbados. He said the government of Barbados is favorably disposed to foreign direct investment and is actively seeking to encourage and facilitate investments of substance. And the Chief Executive Officer of Invest Barbados, Kay Brathwaite, tells us about the pavilion in Dubai.
Barbados' pavilion will be up for the entire 6 months of the expo, and we have some main contingent who will be down there for the entire 6 months, about 4 persons, and then we would have had assistance from various stakeholder entities in terms of sending down staff to assist during that period of time in the pavilion. So on any given day on site in the pavilion working, we can have about maybe 6 to 8 persons. But also during the 6 months period, we're sending down various contingents to showcase various activities and sectors of Barbados. As a matter of fact, just Wednesday, we sent off a team of 8 persons from the Road Tennis Fraternity, a team comprising from the Professional Road Tennis Association of Barbados, as well as the Barbados Road Tennis Association. And this was nicely sponsored by the National Sports Council, so we must thank that stakeholder, and the Ministry of Youth Sports and Community Development and Community Empowerment, sorry. And we sent that team off, and they will be having a coaching clinic, exhibition matches, and a competition during the week of December 11th to 17th. And where the grand prize winner of that competition in Dubai can actually win a round trip to Barbados with free accommodation, etc. So during the period, we are sending out many contingents.
Barbados has recorded 2 more COVID-19 related deaths, bringing the total to 246. COVID-19 claimed the lives of an 80-year-old woman and an 85-year-old man on Wednesday. They died at the Blackman and Gollop isolation facility and were both unvaccinated. Meanwhile, there are 132 new COVID-19 positive cases. This is according to the Besto Santos Public Health Laboratory after having conducted 1,161 tests on December 8th. The test results have identified 54 males and 78 females. Of the positive cases, 18 were under the age of 18. Persons in isolation facilities numbered 295, while 1,960 were in home isolation. Under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19, the total number of people with at least one dose is 154,226. The total number of those who are fully vaccinated is 138,857. The leadership of the Public Service Union in Belize has announced it will challenge the vaccination mandate coming into effect December 15th. The mandate forces all public officers to get vaccinated against COVID-19. The decision taken by the government has been met with fierce objection because some public officers believe this is a violation of their right to choose. Minister of Public Service Henry Charles Usher spoke to the media.
They feel that they want to challenge the decision made by Cabinet, then they have the right to do so as well. I think it's important to understand, Daniel, that this was not a decision that came about very easily. We took a long time, and by we I mean Cabinet. We spoke to the medical officers, we spoke to our team, and we looked at what was happening around the world in terms of the decisions and the options taken by different jurisdictions. And certainly it was felt by Cabinet that we have to improve the number of vaccinations in this country. I understand people are still skeptical about the vaccinations. I encourage them to learn the facts. I encourage them to realize that it may not be a perfect tool, but it is a tool in the fight against COVID. And certainly I want to protect our public officers as best I can. That they are skeptical, that they believe that it's their right to choice that is being taken away. I am sorry to hear that. But certainly it's something that the Cabinet and myself as Minister of Public Service, we felt that this was critical at this time.
The International Criminal Court has opened investigations into the Venezuelan government's handling of opposition protests. More in this report.
It's been 4 years since Elvira and Jose Pernalete's son was killed during protests in Venezuela. Juan Pablo was a student and died of cardiogenic shock in April 2017 after being hit by a tear gas canister at close range. His sister was a cancer patient, and Juan Pablo was frustrated with the situation, which made it difficult for her to be treated.
I was told my son was dead. It was like the world stopped. They broke our life. I remember that day because they killed my husband and me. 2 years later, our daughter died of cancer. They destroyed our family in the same way they have destroyed hundreds of families in Venezuela.
Juan Pablo was a basketball player and a student.
Everything has been a challenge. Fighting the prosecutor's office, the prosecutor has been changed 15 times. In 2019, all the actions came from us. Nobody does anything. They want to say it was an accident, and it was not.
Juan Pablo's death is just one of the many cases presented at the International Criminal Court against the government of President Nicolás Maduro. Venezuelan officials are being investigated for crimes against humanity, for extreme repression and serious human rights abuses. The investigation against Venezuela includes accusations of secret detentions and torture sites, even a government plan that targeted protesters as opposition forces. It also includes human rights abuses against opponents, but also members of the security forces who dared to challenge the government.
A trial at the International Criminal Court includes the possibility of a detention order, something that other reports do not have, and the fact that it's a shame to be the only Latin American government to be tried at the ICC.
And that's a wrap for news. You can listen out this afternoon for Newsday. Well, I'd now turn you over to Pearson Voldemort-Bouen for more Morning Barbados.
Thank you, Wendy Violette Burke. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 minutes after 7 o'clock now, time for today's Crumbs question of the day. Time for you to call me on 228-5562 or 228-5563. I have a question for you. It's a riddle. I think it is so simple, it is not funny. So listen to what is today's Crumbs question of the day for you to call. There is one that's made for pockets and one that's especially for steaks. There is one to spread butter and a large one to cut a wedding cake. What am I? Easy weasy so. 228-5562 or 63. There is one that's made for pockets and one that's especially for steak. There is one to spread butter and a large one to cut a wedding cake. What am I? Don't dilly-dally. 228-5562 or 228-5563. See if you can answer that. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Good morning to you. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Pierce. How are you?
I'm great, sir. How are you doing today?
I got up my head early on morning.
I see, but this one easy. This one is easy, so I wouldn't tangle you too much. What's the answer?
I say a knife.
You would say a knife? I would say you're right. You see? You won today, my brother. Well done. What's your first name again? What's your first name?
All right, thanks.
So
you
happy.
enjoy your day.
You're welcome. Here, stay on the phone. Don't put down. He's so happy that he's won, he couldn't even hear me. So he's absolutely right. The answer is a knife. That's our friend who lives right there in Map Hill. So he's won today's Crumbs question of the day. We're taking a break. When we come back, I'm going to be calling you. So have your phone on and stay by your phone. We're calling you in right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
17 after 7 o'clock, time for me to call you. It's time for you to win this morning with us. One of two. We're having two calls today. We're going to call you now to win in our Christmas competitions. Get ready to answer your phone. We are getting dial tone and we will call you right now. If your phone rings, answer the phone correctly. You become an instant winner. With us here at the CB says we try to make Christmas merrier for you. So let's see if we get a caller on the line. So answer your phone. Please answer your phone. No, fat fingers, dialing. She's going to beat me so badly for real. So let's see. Phone ring. Answer your phone correctly.
Hello.
Good morning. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Did you pay your electricity bill today?
I don't pay bills.
You don't pay bills? How lucky you are. Are you a student?
No.
What school are you with? What educational institution are you with?
I don't go to school. I work.
Oh, you don't? Oh, and you live at that house and don't pay bills?
Pardon?
And you live in this house and don't pay bills?
That's what I said.
You are so lucky. But you know what? You're very unlucky right now because we're calling from CBC and you did not answer your phone correctly. Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
All right. Bye-bye. Didn't answer it right. No. No, no, no. Let's try to get another one on the phone. So 228, no, no, not Pearson Boynes. Shut up with that. We're calling you. We're calling you. You hearing it, darling? That's fat fingers for you. So let's see. Let's see if this person answers the phone correctly. The phone is ringing. Come on, quickly. We want to give you something today. Answer the phone. Come on, it's ringing. You people need to have the phones a lot nearer to you. This one is going to voicemail. I can feel it already. No one's there? All right. Good. See? Let's try one more call. Let's see how we'll do this now. Come on. Answer the phone. You guys don't want something special for Christmas? We have something really, really good to give to you today in our Christmas competition here at the CBC. Let's see. Here it rings. Answer the phone. Answer your phone, whoever you are.
You have reached.
All right. There we go. We're going to be two more attempts. Two more attempts. We have two more people to choose from. Answer. If you've entered the competition, you've been told a million times, we will be calling you. And if we're calling you, we want you to answer the phone in a particular way. When you choose to look at your phone and figure out that you're not answering this call, you're missing an opportunity. That's what you're doing. So let's see. Let's see if this person grabs the opportunity. Don't look at your phone, try to figure out who's calling. 3. That's voicemail too. It's ringing too long. Ringing too long. Ringing too long. Let's try this last one of this segment. Last person we're calling right now. You all should be shaming yourselves, don't you think? You entered the competition. You entered the competition because you expected us to give you a call.
But the person
there
you have
go. All right. That's it for that segment. So we're hoping in the next one to come, you will answer your phone and not let the voicemail person do that. So switch it on. 21 minutes after the hour. Now we turn our attention to in August, we met her. She was one of our exceptional young people. She then brought on this Sorrel Rum Punch that she made because her father introduced her to the recipe, and so they've marketed it, and I believe it's doing well. But this is Christmas, so something else is being offered now. Desiree Ben of Mornin Barbados joins us now. Desiree, good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So the rum punch. I mean, it's a great drink to have now for the season as well. How do sales go? How are sales going on that?
Sales actually went pretty well.
Nice.
After we had the launch in August, I reached out to a few places. I was able to get it stocked at Ryan's Happy Place grocery store. And I've also had a couple people have been calling me and asking to purchase the products as well.
Good, this is fantastic. So folks, if you're looking for a really good rum punch with a kick, the only way the Benup brand can do it, then Benup is where you need to go. Remember, they're also available on Instagram, so you can source it there. Now, but it's Christmas, and so you brought a brand new product as well. Talk to us about what it is.
So we have a limited edition Sorrel Rum Punch available for December, depending on how stock holds out, might be available early into January as well. But I for sure wanted to bring out something for Christmas. It's not Christmas in the Caribbean unless you have some sorrel. So I needed to make sure that I got that down pat from early.
Well, but you know, everybody loves sorrel. You're quite right. It's not Christmas in the Caribbean without sorrel. And so we have our brand now, Benup Sorrel. And you know, the Benup brand is known for its extra ingredient. Can we get both? The one with the extra and one without?
You mean if you can get it with rum or without rum?
You see, I didn't have to say it. You said it. Yes.
But it wouldn't really be rum punch without rum, no, would it?
But the sorrel now, the sorrel is available as well. And I mean, sorrel has a long-lasting flavor. It is a great beverage. It's very cooling and relaxing. And so the sorrel now is also available. Will this also be available in the places where you are retailing and go through the same process of obtaining?
Yes, Ryan's Happy Place has it stocked as well. So if you're not able to get to me for whatever reason, or you just are happening to be out doing your grocery shopping, you can also head to Ryan's Happy Place because they have it in stock as well.
You know, I don't know where that is. Where is that?
That is in Porthurst. When you're driving on the bottom road as though you're heading towards Old Town, just before you get to the turnoff that would take you up onto the highway to go to Westmoreland,
right?
You will see the sign saying Ryan's Happy Place grocery store. You literally cannot miss it.
Oh, because on the right-hand side of the road then will be that big expansive property that takes you onto the beach. And
yes.
You see, I'm a North boy. Listen, I know exactly what you're talking about now. So that's where it is. But,
there you go.
So that's where we go, and we can get a bottle of sorrel, or we can get a bottle of Bennup Rum Punch. And these will really make great things to complement your gatherings. Well, and you know what I mean, for Christmas. And you could perhaps give a gift, make it a gift as well, available to someone you love so dearly, who's just yearning for sorrel. For those of our viewers overseas who are watching and thinking, I gotta have some too, what do you say to them?
We are looking into beginning shipping internationally. So hopefully soon in the future, in the near future, we will be able to announce that.
Things are looking good, Desiree. That's fantastic. You're moving to that bottling and packaging and making it available to everyone. And the great thing is about it, folks, it tastes real good. The sorrel is fantastic. Now, I'm on medication, so I should not be. I don't use alcohol at all. So I've gone for the very comfortable taste of the sorrel. And I am telling you, having tasted it myself, it is really, really good. And you need to get it today. Now, for those who might not get it, make it down to Porter St. James to go to the wonderful little place there to get it, they can call you, right?
Yes, they can call me at 844-5579, or you can send us a DM on Instagram at BenupBDOS.
BENNUP BDOS. That's how it's spelled. BENNUPBDOS. The number is 844-5579, right? 844-5579. 844-5579, to say it like the old people. And those are the numbers that you would call to get your own bottle of Bennup Sorrel or your own bottle of Bennup Rum Punch. And I'm guaranteeing you the people at your occasion will enjoy it just as much as you. So I encourage you this holiday season to give it a try. Give it a try. Give it a try from today. Make her phone ring off the hook. 844-5579. You all know, because Desiree will take those orders and she'll bring it to you as well. So that's the beauty of the service you offer, right? You can bring it to me.
Yes. You can come collect it, or we can have delivery, or you can do meetups as well. It's completely up to the customer.
Right, so let's make this happen. So folks, Bennup Barbados, remember you can find them on Instagram as well, BENNUPBDOS, and you can drop her a DM there as well. And let's enjoy this. Have a very Merry Christmas indeed from Bennup Barbados. Desiree Ben, thank you so much for being so enterprising, and I'm glad you've added this to your product lines as well. I hope everybody gets a bottle today. Thank you.
Thank you as well, Pearson. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome indeed. And people are so happy to see her face. You know, one of our social media commenters did talk about her. She's a lovely young lady. They're very enterprising, the Ben family. And I want to encourage you to get a copy today. Get your bottle. Get your bottle. Get your bottle. It's good. We're coming back after this with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7:30 in Barbados in the Eastern Caribbean. Our next guest is considered to be multifaceted, well qualified as well with a master's in human resource management. But in 2018, she took a leap of faith and she has not fallen. Her name is Chanel Dodson. Good morning to you, Chanel.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbados.
You're smiling. Why are you smiling?
Because if I don't smile, I don't know. I'm really nervous right now.
No need to be, girl. You're looking great so far for the morning. Now, Chanel, there's a part of your story I find so fascinating that here it is, you with a master's degree in human resource management, working well, and then in 2018, something has bit you and you said, you know what, I'm going to give up my full-time job. What happened?
Well, to be honest with you, in 2018, that is the time I actually started my master's degree, and I did apply for the program as a full-time student. So I did make that decision that I was going to resign from my full-time job and go and do my studies on a full-time basis. And you know, that's completed, and here I am, and I do not regret it.
But you know, when you think of it, full-time job means that you're guaranteed a salary every month. To give that up and then go into the wild and think, but where's my income coming from? Did you have those kinds of fears?
Yes, but prior to that, while I was full-time employed, I was what persons would say, you know, you're doing your stuff on the side. And I was always a person who was into beauty and what's not. So while employed, I was actually performing services in makeup artistry. I would have been able to, I was given the opportunity to travel as well, to do makeup for destination brides.
Whoa.
I was doing facials. I was doing my thing on the side while employed on a full-time basis.
So it was that made you give up the job, the passion to follow that.
Yes, please.
And even that in itself, because it's seasonal, first of all, and secondly, it is so, I was going to say the word fickle, that's not the word I want to use necessarily, but you know, things can change at the drop of a hat. And so you had to really dig deep within your soul and your spirit to say, I'm going to pursue this because I believe it's going to sustain me right the way through. Family must have looked at you and thought, she's strange. Why is she doing this?
Yeah. To be honest with you, they thought I was crazy. Yes, there were the concerns. You know, what are you going to do? And they asked, but outside of that, they were still very supportive.
When you made that decision in 2018, how did your life change as a consequence of that decision?
It took some adjustment. I was even asking myself, Chanel, are you crazy? Do you know actually what you are doing? Are you mad? I mean, up to the day that it was my last day at work, I was still asking myself, are you sure this is what you want to do? And I tried, you know, to put, you know, that fear behind me and just go for it.
Wow. And I mean, you've been traveling the road ever since. You're just achieving it as you go. So, but there must have been some nights that you went to sleep thinking, Lord, let tomorrow be a good day, because today was not as good as yesterday. Did you have those kinds of...
Yes, I believe every entrepreneur or every person who decided to take their own path have those days, have those mornings, have those nights. Yes, there were times I woke up and I was like, you know, let someone call, let someone call, let someone call. You know, and there were those days, sometimes you were a little down-spirited and what's not. But I truly have a passion and a love for the arts and beauty and everything like that. So that took me forward, and that gave me the courage, you know, to go on and everything like that.
You know, you're right, because I'm one of those who speaks it into reality as well. Let the phone ring. Let the phone is going to ring. And it happens. It happens. Oddly enough, it just happens. So does faith play a strong factor in everything that you've been doing so far, your journey?
Yes, there are times you have your doubts, But then when that come into play, I think then it takes you then on another path. So really and truly, keeping a positive mindset is very important. And I had to learn that. It was a journey and a learning journey, and I'm still on that path, but I'm much better.
Wow, you're doing it well. You're smiling today. That means it's a successful story. It's a wonderful story. You have a master's in human resource management. When you think of that, and yet you're the owner of Highlighted Beauty by Shan. And how do you feel when you weigh both of them together? That you have a master's in human resource management and you're operating your own salon?
Yes, well, the two, they are on opposite sides of the spectrum. I was working in HR practically from the time out of college, quite young. I went into the human resources field, and during that time I also went into beauty because of my love and passion there. I didn't just fall into it. Before, I used to suffer really badly with my skin, and for me it was finding ways of concealing those imperfections and what's not, so that when you go out there, you feel good about yourself. Yes. And so it was just a natural progression. Yes, you're on two opposite sides, but I make it work.
And you're doing well. So now you're operating Highlighted Beauty by Shan. It's your business. Your business. How's it been going so far, and what do you offer?
Okay, well, so far it has been going well. We recently relocated to the new J.B. Simpson complex in 6 Road, St. Philip.
Okay.
In suite number 13. Yes. And we opened at the ending of June, so on the 26th of December, which is Christmas Eve, would actually be 6 months that I would have been in this new location. And so far it has been fantastic. At the Highlighted Beauty by Shan Spa, we're a full-service luxury day spa, and we offer all services from your facials, advanced facials, your diamond microdermabrasion, your dermaplaning, your peels, a range of body massages, Swedish aromatherapy, deep tissue, hot stones, your pedicures, your manicures, your nail enhancements and nail extensions, hair removal services, my waxing, makeup artistry, of course.
You offer a full set of services. Can we bring that comment back up? One of our commenters on social media was commenting just now about it from Patricia Ben. Can you see it on the bottom of your screen? Can you see it?
Not clearly.
Let me read it for you. Patricia Ben says, "Good morning to you, Chanel. What a beautiful smile. Congratulations to you. Keep up the good work." That's what people are saying about you this morning. One, the beautiful smile, but they're just so proud of what you've been able to achieve thus far. Now,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Patricia says thank you. She says, what try to much rest. Oh, here we go. The business will flow, she writes. She adds to that comment as well. Now, talk to me a little bit about how your business works, because obviously now we're operating under controls called protocols, and you have to check your clients to make sure that nobody puts anyone else in danger. So do you operate by appointment, I suppose?
Yes. So we are appointment only. There are some persons who answer if they can walk in, and I usually recommend for those persons to give us a call at first to see if we can accommodate them, rather than just walking in to find out then that they cannot be facilitated. Appointments are spaced out, so you will never find a clustered spa, no more than 1 or 2 clients at any given time. When clients come in, they are sanitized, their temperatures are taken. We clean doors wherever that customer may have touched at our reception desk. Everything is thoroughly sanitized and wiped down for the next person who we will be expecting to arrive.
And the assurance to all is that your staff are also in themselves fully ready and protected to ensure my good health at the end of the experience. What's the number to call to make an appointment? Because I'm always in the area, so what's the number to call?
Great. Our number is 4235-SPA or 423-5772, and that number is also available via WhatsApp. So for
Okay.
those persons who don't necessarily want to give us a call, you can send us a quick message on that number, and I'm certain that my concierge or myself will get back to you as quickly as we can with whatever query or question you may have.
Look at how life is. Just yesterday I said, Pearson, you need a pedicure. You really need your feet dealt with. And here it is today. I'm engaging with you. Highlighted Beauty by Shan. So we can call 423-5772, 423-5772 to book an appointment and have that wonderful experience at Highlighted Beauty by Shan. It's in the JB
And
complex.
it truly is an experience.
Yeah.
And it truly is an experience. And persons who have visited us so far would say that the service is, nothing like what they would have, received or what they expected. I guarantee you superior service and, A-class service, according to a customer who visited us yesterday for the very first time. He did write back and say, you know what, A-class service, keep it up.
Fantastic. Are you on the ground floor or the top floor?
I'm on the top floor, the second floor.
So we got to come upstairs.
13.
Because I was thinking just now, as you said where you were, I'm trying to picture in my head where you are, because as I said, it's an area which I am very often, and I couldn't remember. But now I know you're upstairs. It's upstairs we'll trod to come get the service. So it's 423-5772, the numbers to call. So what have you learned by taking this leap of faith in yourself? What have you learned about you and about business so far?
For me, it's mindset. And I'm also currently doing a program which is facilitated with the Republic Bank. And that's a program that's running with women entrepreneurs throughout the Caribbean. It's over 150 persons. And I'm one of 2 or 3, I believe, from Barbados who would have been selected for that program. And one of the topics that we would have discussed was mindset. And having and if you have a fixed mindset or growth mindset. And for me, it's learning to move from that fixed mindset. I don't know if I can do it. I may not be good enough. And, just changing that into a positive, just rephrasing it really more positively. And that's what I have been doing, and that's what I have been learning, and, and trying to maintain along my journey currently.
You went to Louis Lynch Secondary. What do you think your teachers are saying about you this morning?
I think they would say, well done.
As would we here at Mornin Barbados as well. Well done to you, Chanel Dodson.
Well done.
You're doing very, very well indeed. It's my immense pleasure meeting you this morning. I encourage you to keep doing well what you're doing. And thank you for inspiring so many of us who have fear to know that you can make that leap of faith and know that you will be okay. But you need to put certain structures in place to ensure that you're okay as well. So don't just leap and hope to swim. Make sure you're ready to swim as well. So Chanel Dodson, all the best with Highlighted Beauty by Shan. It's in the JB complex. It's a brand new complex there at Emerald City Complex in 6 Roads. Just call her today, 423-5772. I hear the phone ringing. That's good business. And I hope that you have a wonderful today. Thank you for being as gorgeous as you are, and much success to you going forward.
Thank you, Pearson. Thank you, Barbados. It was a pleasure being here.
See, you're not so nervous anymore. Good to have you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All the best indeed. She came shy and nervous. She left with a big, bright smile. Thank you so much indeed, Chanel Dodson. What a story. She, in 2018, gave up her full-time job, has a master's degree in human resource management, but she's operating her salon, and she's loving every ounce of it. You can enjoy the experience by calling her on 423-5772. We're going to take a break here. We come back to meet the designer of the year.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 15 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. Don't forget, this weekend you have Carols by Candlelight, the drive-in experience. Remember to get your ticket, $65, a car load, $65, but you can go to all or any of the box offices to secure your spot at the Globe Drive-In to be a part of Carols by Candlelight. The edition this week, they're raising funds to help those in need. Also, starting today, so it's today, tomorrow, and on Sunday, The Theory of Relativity by Operation Triple Threat. Go to ticketlinks.com and secure your space before your device. It's an online experience, $15 per person, ticketlinks.com, and view The Theory of Relativity. My nephew is in it. You're going to see it and you can enjoy it. So this evening, 7:30, tomorrow evening, 7:30, and then there are 2 shows on Sunday. But a ticket is what opens you up to that world, The Theory of Relativity. So get your tickets today from ticketlinks.com and enjoy it, and all the best to Operations Triple Threat. Now, on Saturday night, we made the announcement at the Spirit of the Nation show that the parish designer of the year came from the parish of St. Michael. I received an email from a viewer who says, Pierce, I'm very disappointed in you. You called the parish, but you didn't say who the designer was. My response, honestly, to her was, I didn't know either. I only read what was in the envelope, which is the designer of the year, St. Michael. And so I asked her to point us in the direction, and here he is today. The designer of the year for the Spirit of the Nation show is Mikhail Gibbons. Good morning to you, Mikhail.
Hey, good morning, Pearson. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You were not there on Saturday night to receive your prize, but a representative took it for you. Were you watching, and did you hear the announcement?
Yes, please. I was watching.
And
So
tell
as
me
I got
about...
home, I went straight.
You went straight to watch it.
Load up.
And
Straight.
so there was little fat-faced Pearson boy making this announcement, and you were identified as St. Michael. How did you feel when you heard the announcement?
To be honest, it shocked me. It shocked me.
Why do you say it shocked you?
Well, even though I wanted to win it, I still saw some pretty good competition and other gowns and other dress suits, and so it just shocked me because I expected someone else to win, even though I still wanted it.
How many years have you been designing now?
It was 7.
What got you started in the first place?
I started when?
What got you started in the first place in designing?
I started from when I did a pageant back when I was at the law school. Because first I went to Dun & Griffith and then the law school. So when I did it there, coming on to the end of the show, I had to make my own stuff. So ever since then, I started my curiosity grew for it. So I started from there.
You design and make as well, or do you just design?
Design and make.
Okay. And so you operate your own business now. What's the name of your business?
Alright, the name is Matt Gias. So I've been doing it for, let's see, it's around 6 years.
For the last 6 years?
Yeah.
And you've outfitted quite a number of brides, and you've done the bridal parties. You've done some suits for men as well. And we're watching the images on our screen while we speak with you. So you're no novice to this at all.
Oh, please.
No. So what was it that you designed for the parish ambassadors of St. Michael?
On that day, the theme was Ghanaian, not Ghanaian, but Ghana.
Yes.
So I had to choose like Ghanaian colors, Ghanaian African print. So for the female, I tried to make that one as, I would say, not bright, but basically more of the African print. And then the male, I wanted his to just be like simple, but accents of the African print, so they all could blend together nicely.
It took a lot of research, no doubt, because you had to be familiar with the theme with which you're working. And there they are on the screen. These are the two who wore the Designer of the Year award, who won that for you. Describe what we're seeing here, what it means. This is a young lady who represented St. Michael.
I don't think it's this one here.
Well, who this is? This
Is the other one.
This is that's the parish of St. Lucy we saw there. This is parish of St. Michael is what we're looking for. I wanted to talk a little bit about that. We represented Ghana so very well. So in your research, what did you learn about Ghana and Ghana's fashion?
Let me see. From my research, when I was looking it up, it was like a lot of, I think so, powerful dresses and all that stuff you just gotta look at. Being like how it would be, there's a lot of extra stuff. So there's like a lot of frills here, a lot of frills on here, and lace and diamantes, along with these strong African print.
But fashion speaks a lot about the individual, the character of the individual as well. And you had to no doubt build it based on the body and the personalities that you were working with. How was it working with those parish ambassadors, getting them ready to wear what you created?
They adapted pretty well because I gave them a lot of input in the choices of the material and the style of it. Because the male ambassador, that was the exact style he wanted, right? He just filled in for that part. If you saw me on the show of the night, I just filled in. But the female as well, she pretty much had a lot of input on her styling and the choice of her material and stuff. So I pretty much got all two of them to agree on.
So talk to me a little bit now. Talk to me a little bit now about MacGS. MacGS is the name of the building, the business, and you've been building out fashions ever since then. How has it been for you over these years that you've been doing this now at MacGS?
It's been pretty tough, starting out. I started in 20. I would have been doing it on the side here and there, but I officially went straight into it 2018. And so that first year, that was a eye-opener. So I did the previous Spirit A Nation in 2018, so around November, and it was a lot of work. Like that entire year was a lot of work. But ever since that, after I just started to learn more and grow more, and some more knowledge coming on the craft.
How much time in a day do you spend doing what you do, designing?
I would say before it was like the whole day, like 9 hours, but now it's more at 4 or 5 hours. Well, I have to get home from work because I have another job now, so I will do that when I get home.
Right, so designing MacGS. MacGS is the other job that you do. But MacGS at some point is going to take over the other job that you do.
Yeah, of course. Because you know how Corona hit everybody business went downhill for a bit. So I just don't really need to do to stay afloat.
We were looking at some images of some of the bridal outfits and the bridal party that you design for and that you make for. If someone today is watching, they think they want to use you as their designer for their bridal party and themselves, how much time do you need notice and so you can actually get the work done in time?
I would say 3 months notice. 3 months notice, so you can at least meet and agree on the stylings and measuring and then the choice of choosing materials and stuff like that.
So about 3
months.
So it's about 3 months or so we would need to have ready to get our bridal party and everything all set. Do you work with a team of people or is it just you?
It's just me for now. Just me for now.
And you only spend 4 hours a day? You kidding me? Just you?
It's a lot of work.
Wow. That is fantastic. You're very, very skillful. I want to show folks some of what you've done with the St. Michael Parish Ambassadors, and that's why you've been known as a Parish Designer of the Year. Here we are. Tell us.
Right. As you can see here is a plaid African print here. But when I first saw it, I liked it straight off, being that it has like a strong red line in it. But it's not just a red line, it's a red line filled with patterns and intricate pattern pieces and stuff like that. Yeah.
But the
So I also
bottom,
took a challenge to being that it's flat, so you have to make sure your lines line up all the way
yes,
around
yes.
and straight down.
And she has that kick at the bottom. So she, the parish ambassador, she was the one who said she wanted to have that kind of bottom to her gown.
Not necessarily. Well, that part is more so me.
Okay, that was part of your design.
Bottom, it's not an easy bottom to do. It's a very difficult flare.
What was What was so difficult about it?
Well, for one, is that each flare, each curve, is an individual piece.
Oh, really?
So you have to put all of them together, and then along with that, you gotta put tool in it.
Wait, this is you?
Yes, please.
This is really nice.
Yeah,
this is really, really nice. Actually, I was the one who was doing the emceeing for this part. Your suit.
Yeah, you were. You were.
Yeah. Come to think, no, I see it because I recognize immediately the fashion I'm looking at. And describe this suit now.
Okay, so this suit, it's like a burnt orange or a very rich khaki. So as I said, I didn't want it to be so overpowering in two materials mixing. So I just chose to do like accents of the red, the strong red print. And just keep it simple, you know?
It's really nice though. I like it. I like it indeed. So Mikhail Gibbons of MacGS Fashion, want to thank you so much. Congratulations on the award you received and the recognition as well. And I'm glad that people can now know more about you. Find you on Instagram.
My Instagram is MacGious official, MAKGIOUS, and then that's official.
Right, so there it is on our screen, macgs.com online, or you can go to MacGS official on Instagram and order his business. Order him. Your phone buzzing, MacGS. Thank you so much, Mikhail. Don't let the phone drop.
No
Thank you
problem.
so very much, all right? All the best. Good. I did promise you one more chance to call somebody this morning. Let's get cracking because we only have a few minutes left. Let's see if we can make a winner this morning. But we'll take a break first and we'll come right back with more.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning.
So let's go. Good, we have dial tone. Come on, answer the phone. Let me go. Please, I want to have a winner this morning. Please answer your phone.
We're sorry, but...
No, next. No dilly-dallying this morning. No dilly-dallying. It is your fault. You entered the competition. You have to have your phone ready. That's the number you asked us to call you on. It's your fault when you miss the opportunity to win this morning or any time. It's your fault. Speaking the truth. Let's see if this person answers now. Let's see.
Good morning.
All right. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. Nope, that's not the way to answer. That's not the way to do it, folks. Come on, we're calling you. We're calling you. Answer your phone the way we want you to. We're against time, so we're moving fast. We're moving fast. Let's see. Answer your phone. Come on. Come on. There's 2 rings. That's the 3rd ring. That's not it. That's going to voicemail. I can tell you right away. If that person was going to answer, they're going to answer. Let's see if we get another caller in. Let's see if we get another one. Come on, answer your phone. As we say there on the screen, answer your phone. That's the way to do it. Answer your phone. You know how we say that in Barbados, but we don't say answer the phone. Answer your phone. So let's see if we get someone to win this morning. We have 2 chances and not a winner yet. Let's see. Let's see. Come on. Answer your phone. 3 rings so far. If it goes to a 4th, they're not answering. They're not answering. We give one more person.
Yeah, give me for Christmas. Good morning.
Sir, you were there all the time?
Pardon?
Man, y'all gonna let me deafen me with his voice. I will hear it. Sir, how are you?
I'm going out, yeah.
Did you take the time to look at the phone before you answered?
What happens is that I always, when I see certain numbers, they're getting for Christmas because they don't know who calling.
Correct. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. And because you did the right thing, we have a gift basket, compliments of McBride's. They have all sorts of cleaning agents just for you this Christmas season. Congratulations for you, okay?
You're okay, thank you very much.
Yes, so someone from our marketing department will call you and make arrangements with you to collect your winnings. Congratulations indeed to him, and maybe it's you next time. That's it for today. For the crew, to all of you, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. If it be God's will, we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.